Hey, what's up everyone? Paul from Grindhouse for the House, and today I want to talk about what I like to call the Avengers movie of the Blaxploitation genre, starring three of its biggest stars. Jim Brown, who had just done both Slaughter movies, Fred Williamson already had Black Caesar, Hell Up in Harlem, and That Man Bolt in his filmography, and Jim Kelly, who had Enter the Dragon and Black Belt Jones. All that was missing really in that cast was Pam Grier, and it would have brought it to another level. And it was directed by Gordon Parks Jr., who himself just had his directorial debut with a little film called Superfly, which was a pretty big hit back in 1972. All this pedigree was behind 1974's Three the Hard Way.
You see, we have a scientific institution here.
They're gonna kill us all. They gotta stop it.
Action explodes all over the place when the big three join forces to save their race. Brown, Williamson, Kelly. Rated R.
I think this movie definitely pays off in what it promises, even though I find it to be a bit conventional and muted in style in the way it was shot. But just the star power alone from Brown, Williamson, and Kelly makes it an entertaining and worthy watch. All the action scenes, the shoot-em-ups, big explosions, the car stunts, all coordinated by famous stuntman Hal Needham. And you would think a crazy premise like neo-Nazis dumping a chemical in the drinking water to kill all black people would be such a far-fetched idea even back in 1974, but then we see what's happening now 50 years later in the world we live in, and you know there's a kind of crazy out there that would actually go through with it if they could, and it doesn't seem so far-fetched. Jim Brown, who plays record producer Jimmy Lay, is the main character who sets in motion the story when one of his friends escapes from the neo-Nazi compound where he was a prisoner who got tested on, and is brought to Jimmy by a young couple who's this dude right here.
The car. Yeah, you missed driving all the way here.
That's Corbin Burnson in his acting debut. He got the job because his dad was the movie producer. So Corbin Burnson was a Nepo baby before Nepo baby was a thing. At the hospital, his friends tries to tell him what happened to him, but it doesn't make much sense. So he leaves, but his woman played by Sheila Frazier, who played Priest's girl in both Superfly movies, stays behind. The bad guys, not wanting to leave any traces behind, find a very clever way to kill the friend and kidnap his lady friend. That is when Jimmy goes to Chicago to enlist the help of Jagger Daniels, what a name, played by Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly, who beforehand we see cops planting drugs in his ride and they try to arrest him for it.
Gonna set me up?
And kicks a lot of cops' asses in slow-mo on a very windy Chicago day.
What are you two cats doing here, man?
Look, we'll deal with that later. Right now, we better get your ass out of here, huh?
Yeah, give them time to clean up that mess you made.
All three go check out a car wash, which they found out was where the bad guys hang out, kill most of them, keeps one alive so they can interrogate him. When they're unable to force him to give up his secrets, Jagger calls in a trio of red, white, and blue, leather-clad, motorcycle-riding dominatrices.
Mister, I'd like for you to meet three of my friends. That's the Countess, the Empress, and the Princess.
To toplessly torture their prisoner to give them the information needed. Side note to this, they really dropped the ball on doing a spin-off movie with those three ladies. Such potential wasted, I tell you. I would have been an avid watcher. He gives up the info.
They are gonna kill every one of you. Black, brown, tan.
Oh, that's
Every last one of
bullshit.
you.
No way they can do that.
They can't. They can't. Petrero found a way. He's smart. It's test tube stuff.
And then dies from fear of being tortured again. Clearly those ladies are really good at their job. But they do find out the overall plan and in what cities it's gonna go down.
You want to just stand around here and wait and see if they can pull it off?
It looks like it all comes out even, don't it?
Yeah, that's right, brother. Three the hard way. 3 cities and 3 of us.
Meanwhile, the head of the organization is so defeated from what the damage those three have caused as a walk and talk with his lead scientist, and the scientists try to psych him up into not giving up and going through with the genocide. And I like how matter-of-fact and casual this talk is, and see him so joyful when he decides to keep on keeping on with it.
Yes. Yes. We go forward.
So they split up to take care of business in each cities.
What are you doing in Detroit?
I came to see you, baby.
While we see the bad guys gloating about their unconfirmed success of their genocide,
No power on earth can stop us now.
which will come back to haunt them because our favorite trio will reunite in the end to take care of those white supremacist douche nozzles by shoving their black foot up their racist white asses. I got a kick out of seeing all three of them interact with each other, which sadly not enough time is devoted to them hanging out together. The first 30 minutes is Jim Brown driving the story, then he meets up with Fred, then Jim Kelly, then they separate for another good chunk of the movie to then reunite for the last 15 minutes. Acting-wise, everyone is doing fine in their roles, although personally I would have made Fred the star versus Jim, but that's my own preference. There's cool action scenes, shit blowing up real good. That pretty cool fire stunt here at the end. I fell for that guy they lighted up. He definitely earned his paycheck on that day. Other things I noticed while watching the movie was first of all, how unsecure and not well guarded those watering plants were. Was that an actual thing in 1974 that you could freely walk in there without being noticed? Because today that would be such an unthinkable thing to do. Also, apparently in 1974 you could fly a van full of guns and explosives on a commercial flight.
Looks like we're really gonna boogaloo tonight, baby.
Yeah, I sure hope we don't wake up the neighbors.
That is mind-boggling. Another thing I noticed is how sparingly music is used in the background when action goes down at those watering plants. It's kept silent throughout, which I guess kept it more real. I don't know. Speaking of the music, the score was done by Curtis Mayfield's former group The Impressions and features 3 songs from them: the theme, Three the Hard Way, Make a Resolution, and That's What Love Will Do, performed at the beginning of the movie in a studio while Jim Brown fakes produces it. I guess it would have been just too meta to have them perform the theme song in front of Jim. Even though the movie was pretty popular, we didn't get a sequel to Three the Hard Way, but all 3 did reunite a year later in the western Take a Hard Ride, and then again in 1982 in Fred Williamson's written, directed One Down, Two to Go, with Richard Roundtree joining on the fun as well. I haven't seen it yet, but definitely a contender for a future review. Is Three the Hard Way worth watching? Absolutely. If you call yourself a Blaxploitation movie fan, you've probably already seen it, and if you haven't, it's on YouTube right now, link in the description. And the only physical release you can get your hands on is this 4-film favorite urban action DVD pack, released by Warner Brothers 10 years ago. So that was my review for Three the Hard Way. Go visit all my socials at Grindhouse Funhouse. More Blaxploitation movie reviews coming up soon, so stay tuned. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll say to you, ciao bye for now.
What are they doing up there?